Nintendo has some huge plans for Mario Kart World. Now today, we're going to cover some of the good and the bad news about Mario Kart, the current state of the game, and the leaks, because we have a leak that suggests a Mario Kart World DLC will be here in 2027, and we are not far away from 2027, guys. We are literally more than halfway through 2026. I think they're going to go all in with Mario Kart World. They recently did get an update, which is pretty cool, as they should be updating this game, and hopefully giving us more and more content over the years and making this game something even bigger than it already is. So we're gonna cover it all in today's video because I am hyped. I'm a huge Mario Kart fan, and I'm sure most of you guys are as well. Let me know how you feel about Mario Kart World, because I feel like everyone's viewpoint is pretty understandable. I mean, this game is awesome, but at the same time, it feels like it lacks a lot, but also just offers a lot, you know what I mean? So right before we do hop into it, please subscribe to the channel, turn on the post notifications if you don't mind. Tell me my goal of 10,000 subscribers. Let's see if we get today's sub goal of 15 subscribers. Let's get right into it. If you haven't heard already, Mario Kart Tour, which is the mobile game, is shutting down in just a few months with no offline version, by the way. I think it's crazy that they are doing that. I know the game is not nearly as hype as it once was, and no one really talks about it, but I feel like if Nintendo were to just keep updating that game, it probably still would be pretty big. And of course, we had that ginormous leak dump just a few months ago, and some of it has already came out, so I personally think the legitimacy of this leak is more than true. I feel like it's gotta be all correct. Of course, things can always change, but I still think that everything on this list, Mario Kart DLC, Metroid, whatever else hasn't come out yet, is gonna happen. Maybe part of Nintendo's mindset right now is to just get rid of Mario Kart Tour and go full force, full focus on Mario Kart World. It is the newest Mario Kart game, and instead of splitting development resources, which, I mean, I guess, is debatable because they haven't really updated Mario Kart Tour in a while, but putting the entire development team's focus on Mario Kart World. The DLC for this game, I hope, is going to give it just so many different quality of life improvements, and of course, new tracks. By the way, let me know some tracks you want to see in this game, because I definitely want to just see a lot, man. I wouldn't even mind if they went down the route of even giving us another map, kind of like, think of Fortnite where we have like different maps. They could totally do that with Mario Kart World, or just add more things to the current map, because the current map is pretty sizable, and I totally could see them adding more stuff because there are a lot of empty areas. So they could just add some different tracks throughout the existing map. I think that'd be cool because it's just like, them updating the app and making the game even more than what it is currently. I also think it's going to introduce different costumes, probably more characters. I don't know what characters specifically, but I do believe they claim that they didn't really want to introduce a bunch of like different Nintendo characters, like, Zelda or Animal Crossing, for example, like those characters being in this Mario Kart game. I think they said they wanted this game to pretty much just be Mario characters, like in the Mario universe, but maybe a DLC could introduce some of the other characters. I'm fine either way if they do or if they don't, and if they eventually do, I could see them maybe being like a part 2 to the DLC, or like, the last kind of stage of the DLC, just to give us some more fun with the game. Mario Kart Tour could have been a ginormous testing ground for them, because Tour introduced new costumes, alternate drivers, city tracks, which I could see us getting more city kind of life within Mario Kart World, seasonal events, rotating content, and the DLC timing makes a lot of sense. So like I said, it is from a very reputable leak. I think it's gonna happen. I mean, even without it leaked, it was always inevitably gonna happen, because Mario Kart 8 Deluxe had a DLC, and that was a pretty good DLC. Like, we got a lot of tracks added to it. I hope for Mario Kart World, it's even more. I know that sounds absolutely insane, but I just would love that, because I want to hop on this game again and like be addicted to it. When it first came out, when the Switch 2 dropped, I was addicted to Mario Kart World. I was playing it like any extra opportunity, like any extra time I had, I was just playing Mario Kart World. I haven't played it much since last year, to be honest. So the beginning of this game, kind of like the launch year, the launch 2 years, I guess you could say, the focus is pretty much going to be on the base game itself and just the Switch 2 as a whole. Like, they're not just going to go full force on the Mario Kart World DLC immediately. Year 2, which will be 2027, I do believe is when that large paid DLC is going to happen. It's going to keep Switch 2 owners happy, plus buying content, which makes Nintendo happy. And of course, that's another big release for Nintendo. Like, sure, some DLC content they drop for maybe some smaller games aren't as, big of releases, I guess I could say, or just not as important. But with a game like Mario Kart World, it is a big release. Like, that is a really large title to be dropping a DLC for, so it has to be good, especially with how ambitious they are with Mario Kart World. And it seems like Nintendo as a whole, they're just moving away from mobile games. It was really exciting to get mobile games though from Nintendo, but I just don't know what they're really going to do in the future as far as the mobile games go. Maybe they are planning on a different mobile game though, who knows. Mario Kart Tour though is huge. Like, the App Store, it has many downloads. The ratings are through the roof. It's on the top charts, which is kind of why I'm really shocked that they are doing this. Maybe it is so they could get more Switch 2s or just Switch 1s sold rather than, focusing on the phones and people, getting their fix Mario Kart or just being in the Mario universe on their phone. Because I still think Nintendo are trying to get that #1 top selling console of all time with the Switch 1. They are pushing for it, man, and they are very close. It is so close to being the top selling console of all time. So because they're letting the entire game of Tour disappear, does this mean that they are completely replacing it with Mario Kart World? Maybe they're thinking about reintroducing most things or maybe everything from Tour into Mario Kart World. We did get some Tour maps in the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC, so maybe they're gonna kind of split some of the tracks and, put the remainder, the leftovers into Mario Kart World, or will it just become lost? Like, will these maps and some of the content of Tour just become completely lost? I really hope not. I could definitely see a lot of the costumes or drivers, cards, gliders, just whatever's not in World be brought into World from Tour. It would be really sick if they were to add some sort of like classic mode to the DLC of World, like, some of the OG, I guess you could say GameCube Mario Kart features, or just maybe new Mario Kart features throughout every single Mario Kart, kind of like making it a Mario Kart Classic Collection, if you will, by adding some old features or older maps or like older graphic style. Like, imagine we could have like the GameCube Double Dash graphic style for one of our races throughout Mario Kart World. That would be pretty sick. We know that Mario Kart is a Nintendo system seller, so rather than releasing a new Mario Kart every few years, it seems like nowadays we're gonna get a new Mario Kart game like every 10 years. So with Mario Kart World, they're gonna have to keep this game feeling lively, add a DLC. I kind of would imagine they're gonna do more than just one DLC for this game, though. I could see them doing 2 or 3, or like maybe you buy the DLC and it just comes out in different segments. Like, hey, when it drops, you get part 1, 6 months later, maybe even a year later is part 2, another 6 months, part 3. I personally think they do need to focus more on like seasonal updates, adding new characters and cups, just like free additional content every now and then, just to kind of keep things moving. So what we do currently know, Mario Kart Tour is gone. Well, not yet. It's going away. Mario Kart World is alive, and it's probably going to be better than ever. And the leak, I think, is real. I do think we will be getting it next year. And as well as that, with Mario, next year we should be getting the next big 3D Mario game. So hey, are you guys hyped about that? Because I am hyped for that. This could even be potentially announced during the next Direct. The next Direct should be September. Like 99% it should be in September. We've had a couple reputable sources kind of just suggest that it may happen in September. Although Nintendo are doing some just odd things recently, so maybe it's not going to happen this year. I think it will, though. I think we will get a September Direct that will kind of showcase the 2027 side of releases. So that would entail maybe revealing the Mario Kart DLC and maybe announcing the new Mario 3D game. And as well as that, just whatever else they're announcing, maybe like a new Metroid game, that we've had leaked. So I would just stay tuned, guys. Make sure to turn on the post notifications so you don't miss that, because as soon as you do get more leaks and news and rumors about all of that, I will definitely let you guys know. But yeah, I just had to get this off my mind, because the fact that Tour is shutting down makes me just think that they're going all that much more harder with the DLC for World. But anyways, if you guys are real and watching this, find the video, comment down below. Frog, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.